Okay.
How'd you guys
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Talk Back, where Act Naturally, as well as a guide through hell. I'm simply to facilitate, but there will be questions asked by the dramaturg whose note you may have read in the playbill, as well as the playwrights who are hoping to hear feedback for their piece. And then we'll open it up for y'all to ask questions to each show. We are going to split it by one, to share the stage evenly. We'll start with Act Naturally because they perform first, and then we're going to go through a guide through hell. Same with the questions that you guys will ask. We're going to start with a question for Act Naturally and then a question for a guide through hell. So first, the dramaturg, Anastasia. I'm so sorry. I forgot. We're going to introduce ourselves and pass the mic down then to Act Naturally. So let's start on this side. So who's in a fluid motion? Say your name and
I guess I'm first. Hi, my name is Fabio. I'm the playwright. So.
I prefer a guide through hell. My name is Evelyn Murray, and I'm the stage manager for it.
My name is Jacob, and I played Alexander the Great.
My name is Jenna, and I played Kim and the child.
My name is Angelina, and I was the female swing.
My name is Cruz, and I'm the male swing.
My name is Carolina Rosario, and I played Mark Anthony and Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jimmy. I played Cole.
I'm Shira. I played Johnny and Fry.
Hello, my name's Sabrina, and I'm the dramaturg for A Guide Through Hell.
Hi, my name is Avery Higgins, and I was the director of A Guide Through Hell.
Hi, my name is Kyle, and I played Facian in A Guide Through Hell.
Hi, my name is Maxwell. I played Diogenes in A Guide Through Hell.
Hi, I'm Paige Muniz, and I played Annette in A Guide Through Hell.
Hi, I'm Alejandro Bro, and I'm the writer of Act Naturally.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rotem, and I play Ted in Act Naturally.
Hello, my name is Ian, and I played the Wolfman in Act Naturally.
Hi, I'm Dunstan. I directed Act Naturally.
Hi, I'm Kanara. I played Mrs. Paletti in Act Naturally.
Hi, I'm Remy. I assistant directed Act Naturally.
Hi, I'm Anastasia, and I was the dramaturg for Act Naturally.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I was the female swing.
Hi, I'm Henry. I was the stage manager of Act Naturally.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask the first question for Act Naturally. Is Ted's character arc well defined, and does it feel like you want to root for Ted? At the end of the day, does Ted come across as really relatable?
Ted is so painfully relatable. Yeah. There were certain things that they were saying in the therapy sessions, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta go sit down with somebody else. I feel like the arc was, I saw growth happening, and I thought that the end of the Gene Kelly song was also very satisfying. I liked it a lot.
Thank you. I think I saw another hand over here. Was anyone else wanting to answer that in the corner? No? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the microphone back over there.
Do my little walk.
So my one question for A Guide Through Hell is, in your opinion, was the ending a happy ending?
Yep, right in front of me.
I don't know.
Me neither. Was that the point?
Yes.
Yes.
Playwright says yes. Anyone else?
I would say it's like I would like to think it is a happy ending, right? In my head, it is, and she went back and they met, and it was awesome.
Nice.
I really think it was, because at the end of the day, what you guys are trying to show is just do whatever makes you happy. You don't work for it at the end. It's not like a thing you get at the end. It's just right now, right here, right now. So I think it was a happy ending.
Great, thank you. One more?
Okay, I have a question. I might be thinking too much into this, I think. So, they say that you can't pass notes down.
Okay.
So is it the fact that she gets the note from up top? Is that more of the happiness? Or is it more of a happy ending? Yeah, just break this.
So she does get the notes from up top regardless, but that's going to be a separate department. But I'd say that the note really has a lot to do with the ending, but it's not specifically where it comes from, it's what it contains. And whatever that note contains, whatever that contract contains, is up to you guys. So you guys have
What Fabio said.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty, so back to act naturally. Although Wolfman's actions can first be perceived as antagonistic, are his motives and intentions enough to show the evolution of his character alongside Ted? Are you able to really form your own opinion of Wolfman's character? Because it's really important to show that.
A lot of times he do be Sarah. But for the few times where he did have an action, I kind of like the fact that he was always there, but he wasn't necessarily always doing something. So when there was an action he performed, it had a lot more element to it. So like, oh shit, he's actually doing something now. So I personally think, yeah, just like in the very few moments where he had a specific action that he was doing, I think it did naturally build it up. And again, I really like the fact that it wasn't overused, but it was just always there, like with her.
Hey, thank you. I see another hand over here.
Okay.
Behind you.
Cool.
I think Wolfman is Ted. Am I wrong for thinking that? Because I feel like the point was Ted thinks of Wolfman as a separate person that's making her do all of her negative traits and reminding her of all these bad things. But it is just Ted. She's just pretty. They're separating their negative aspects about them and putting them in one place so that they can avoid it rather than accept them as part of themselves.
Yeah. Did I see another hand over here? Yeah.
I think the scene near the very end where she confronts the Wolfman, I think that's incredibly important to the growth of Ted and even Wolfman himself, so he can explain what he is and what he's thinking as well, instead of just being this menacing negative force, that we've seen before, especially him sitting, staring, him in the audience. I think it gives a lot more context of what the Wolfman is really with that scene, I think.
Do you have time for more? Or do you want to pass it to us? Okay.
Hey, I felt like the Wolfman was very much like a puppy dog situation. Do you want to say it again? Okay. But it felt like a lot with the Wolfman. For me, it felt like almost like, at first with the lighting and everything, it's like, oh, rawr, but then as the play went forward, continued, I was realizing he felt just it's gonna be a weird, a benign humor. He's just there. But when, I know, it's really weird. I'm sorry about that. But when it's not a lot, especially I know with But with therapy, it's a lot like, I know there's a lot of talk of self-actualization and like, it felt very much like the Wolfman was able to be like a crutch when you got a little bit too deep into like a certain questions that might make Ted feel uncomfortable. It was very much like a, fuck, I need you here, so like, I don't have to answer it for myself. I can just like push it on the bench, in which we ended on. But I really like the confrontation later on where it's like, well, I don't know, I'm just kind of like you. So it just feels like, even though, and I'm talking also for experience, like, even though it always feels like something's always pushing back on you, like some other entity, at the end of the day, that self-actualization is something where you just have to realize it's you sometimes pushing you back, so. Those are my thoughts.
Now I know we're transitioning you to playwrights asking questions. Yep.
Yeah, fine, I'll ask.
So body moves.
All right, it's a really simple question. What was your favorite part? Like that's a. What was your favorite part? If you liked it, you know. If you didn't like it, just say you didn't like it. That's it. Oh, you up there.
I think it was the first circle where all like the drunk people were it's like your mom or something.
Thank you, Carolina. All right, Morgan up there. What's up?
Not to be, obvious, I like the gay circle. I think that, obviously that was like, I was not expecting that it was funny, but also it had much meaning to it. And I liked that. And it's gay, so.
That's a lot of hands. You all the way to the right.
Kyle flopping down, right? Getting that tight position was beautiful.
Thank you, Kyle.
All the way back there in the red shirt.
This is going to be weird to say as a favorite, but I thought the acting was really strong during the Suicide Circle. Yeah. Really, it hit really hard.
Give it up for Jimmy. Right there. Come on. Literally just those two pairs. It's just those two. All right. One more. Oh, the last two up there, and that's about it. Yeah, you go first.
I really love the running joke about throwing it back. I was waiting.
Can you?
Can you?
No, we're not gonna go back. No back. All right. Last question on the way in the back. Yes.
I like the part where it was the smokers, and they were like, "Oh, we're not in hell because we smoke. It's something else, but we still haven't figured it out."
Because of who we are.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carolina.
No elaboration. I like that part.
Thank you so much. All right. Here you go.
Last question for Naturally.
All right. Bear with me as I read this off my phone and from behind the couch. Do the therapy sessions feel engaging and effectively provide insight into the mind of a socially anxious person? I know it's a very English lit question, but I can't see. Well, go for it.
Okay, so I have several socially anxious children myself, and I saw a lot of shared traits portrayed during those sessions. And I thought it was very effective that the Wolfman, that inner dialogue, that inner voice that you have, sometimes it interferes in different ways. It's not always the same. Sometimes it's the talking over, sometimes it's the pounding. And I thought it was portrayed very well.
Thank you. Yes, you.
Those are like the words I want to say, but I can't verbalize. So yeah, that I like those. It was good.
Over there. You can stop me. I don't know how many questions you want.
I like the therapy sessions a lot. I just felt like sometimes the therapist, some of her language was off-putting to me. Like if it were my therapist telling me like, you can't let down, why are you like that? Don't yell, blah blah blah, whatever. I would be like, okay, I think I won't talk anymore, and maybe I'll be a therapist. I mean, they obviously have a rapport going, but just if it's a socially anxious person, I felt like the therapist maybe would be a little bit kinder. That's just me.
Oh, for sure.
Is there another hand? One last person.
I go for it.
There were parts where the things that the therapist was saying actually kind of struck to me, like especially when she said stop saying sorry so much and instead thank the other person. Something that I had heard before, but now hearing it from I don't know, hearing it from her just struck more. And I feel like that is good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Our last question.
Okay, so bear with me. What part was confusing, apart from the ending? Despite the last scene, anything else that's not the last scene, what was confusing? You with the phone up, why are you recording?
Okay, anyway, I need an explanation for what was up with Cole's sexuality, because
He's bi, that's it.
Oh, okay.
He's bi. Likes dudes, likes girls, just likes them all. Okay, then he's pan. There you go. Call it a day. All right, who else? You.
I have a question about Annette's character. So Annette got really excited when they were like, "Oh, Cole's gay." Is Annette like taking a female form because Annette thinks that Cole's only into women? But
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, that's on the dot right there. Yes, yes. Okay. Anybody else? You in the gray. Right there. Yeah, you.
I'm wearing gray. Okay. You know what? It's been a long day. And I forgot what I was going to say. So, the relationship between Annette and Cole, I found a little bit confusing because, like, was she like a guardian angel of sorts? Like, she was watching over him because she knew who he was while the story was happening. Or, like, it makes, like, before he died. Does that make sense?
Yes. They were alive together.
Okay.
So when Jim Bob over here says, I ruined her life, he is referring to Annette.
Our story was that we were going on a date when we were still alive, and it was finally happening, and oh my god, this guy is taking me out, and I actually really like him. And then I get killed in a car accident by him. And he ruined my life. That's what he was referring to. You see that? Oh, you see that makes a lot of sense.
All right. I was told by the gods above that we only need one more question, because then we'll take more from the audience. Thank you, Gian. Okay. You're raising your hand really high in the back.
Okay.
Yes.
In the suicide circle, what was he holding? What was broken?
It was a broken teacup.
Okay.
That has no significance. It's just a teacup.
Okay.
It was broken, and the significance is not in the object. It is definitely around the other side.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, those beautiful questions. I'm just making sure we get questions for everyone. So now we're opening up just in general audience questions for Act Naturally. Anyone, all of y'all, whoever can respond. Let's see you there with your hand up. I guess that's a lot of people with their hands up. Yes, you.
Okay, why a werewolf?
Great question. I just like, classic Universal monster movies. So, Wolfman. And I'm gonna go poster of it in my room. So, yeah. Where? Yeah. All right, the actual answer is, since we're at it, when I was a kid, it was like something I did see like in the middle of the night. So I thought like, oh, this would be cool if I used it for Ted's character and see like, how he would react to that, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, in the back.
Oh, wait, I have a question for the Wolfman. How did you build your own story? Was it very similar to Ted's, or did you have a different type of approach to the entire interaction with the therapist? Because you had your own thing going on.
Yeah. You want to go for it? Go for it.
Yeah, so Dunstan and I talked about this before. We wanted to figure out whenever Ted was chilling, like not anxious or anything. What would Wolfman be doing? And we were kind of like, and this is basically the reason why I have the notebook, is because I basically just draw out any possible worst case scenario, like ever. So that's why I just like, I draw like Ted getting crashed by a train, and stuff like that. Like just on the notebook, I just tear them off, and yeah, you see the trash on the floor. So yeah, we just determined that Wolfman was just like, yeah, an artist who draws worst case scenarios, and when Ted is chilling, he's doing that, and he's just lying dormant in the mindscape. So yeah, that's basically Wolfman.
Question again for A Guide Through Hell. Christina. You just came with.
So I guess this is more, I don't know how to phrase it in terms of the question, so I apologize. And this is for the playwright. But I was confused by what exactly the like bells were, like what the being like saved was supposed to signify, because like clearly there was an attempted suicide. But then at the end, he's like, I'm just gonna go. And so then I was like, is her motivation to keep him, like to get him to be alive again? And then he decides to die, but then can't they be together then?
No, the last part is no. They cannot be together then, because in the beginning of the whole thing, we see a page over there say, you'll go in between, which is basically like gone forever, like cease to exist, gone. So there is no hope of them being together.
So I have a question then.
Yes.
What is his character arc?
Whose?
The Cole.
Cole's character arc is basically to love himself. It is to love himself. That is it. It is self-care. It is in the purest form to realize his mistake and then be okay with it. Be like, I've made a mistake and I realize it and I realize what I did wrong. And because before he was completely ignoring it, you know, and so he realizes his mistake. And of course, sadly, he can't go and fix it because you can't always fix mistakes, especially those that hurtful. So, damn, that got dark. Okay. Do I ask another one?
Is that a follow-up to this, or?
Kinda, it's the same, yeah.
Okay, if it's on the same page.
Okay, you.
Why does Annette still love him then?
Annette still loves him basically because Annette is Annette. And Annette can't let go. As you could clearly see from that last thing, Annette can't let go despite what he's done. Despite what he's done, Annette can't let go, and it is a problem. It is a genuine problem, but sadly I only have 40 minutes, so I cannot continue to write all of that and then contain everything else. So I would have loved to explore that more. It's too bad.
Yeah, in the future. No.
A question for Act Naturally. Yes.
Why comedy? Why is she like? Why did you choose to make her so into trying to be like a stand-up comedian?
Basically, in the monologue that like goes, but Piletti asks why comedy, and at first they've never really thought about it beyond the surface level. They're like, I don't know, I want people to like me, whatever. And then it's kind of like a callback to the first therapy session where it's like, I don't want to talk about death. Death is that fear of him. Basically, in that monologue, Ted elaborates that the fear of death is like driving him towards comedy, because if he can do something, if he can make something of himself through comedy, it's something that he's good at. You know, he cracks jokes with his therapist. If he can do that, then, you know, maybe he can outlast death even after they die. Yeah, I think, right?
To kind of elaborate on that, basically Ted's thought is if he's not remembered, he will die forever. So his way of, or their way of doing that is comedy and making people laugh. You remember people who make you laugh. So yeah, that's my real take on it.
Question for a guy through hell. We haven't heard from you, Mara.
Am I wrong to assume that the final scene where Annette receives another potential contract, is that a current state after everything we've seen, or a flashback and hell is a circle and that's a flashback to getting Cole's contract?
You are correct to assume that it is later. Scene 10 takes place 5 years after the events of the rest of the play.
Okay.
And so when I get his contract, 5 years have passed, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen him. Now what's up?
So it is a flashback, or?
No, it is 5 years in the future.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. So, did Cole not die then, and then his contract's coming through again?
You guys are not gonna like my answer.
Oh,
The answer that I'm going to give you guys is that is up to you, but I will say this. He is dead. He died at the end. He died at the end. The question, why is he back, is up to you.
But he's back.
But he's back. He is back. He died and he came back. But why is up to you guys to speculate. You can figure it out if you guys want. There is an answer. I'm not gonna say the answer. Oh, Sabrina, yes, Sabrina, yeah.
Hi, I'm gonna try to give you an answer. So, the way that I interpreted it as the original scenes 1 through 9, Annette's failure to save Cole at the end of scene 9 was, it's essentially Cole like not being able to be redeemed anymore. So in my opinion, in the 5 years, the reason why she gets the contract back and the reason why things happen again, in my mind, in my opinion, it's because Cole has another chance to be redeemed again. So he is finally, they will have a chance to see each other again. He might have an opportunity to go down or to go up, like we're not really sure which direction, but now at least Cole and Annette can play a part in that. So yeah, it's a hopeful thing.
You guys can interpret it differently, like literally.
Yeah, that was my interpretation. I didn't write it, but the writer's not giving an answer. It's okay.
If you guys want a concrete answer, just meet me in the back.
We're going to move back to actually moving to our final question. So ask your juiciest, or your least juicy. I don't control that. Anybody has a question for?
Someone coughed when the line was said, but there was something where you said, like, what about if you wanted to date someone, and you went, I don't want to date a person that blah, 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 and someone coughed. So what was that line? Because it made them nervous. Stop for a second, like, oh, it's not recording, I didn't hear it.
I said I wouldn't want to date someone who'd have me as their partner, and Ted means it as a joke, and then Pilates like, okay, dude, that wasn't very chill of you.
Second last
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So, what did you have any source material or inspirations for the internal mind scheme looked like with the trash and using the acting blocks and just
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so when I first read the script, like literally first read, I thought, oh, okay, Fleabag, fourth wall breaks. I read it again and I said, oh, so this is not a drama and I need to pay more attention. Yeah, so Wolfman in the original script was not at all in there until the park bench scene. So we just had the mention of Wolfman and then him coming back. But Ian was just so astoundingly phenomenal that I wanted to see him on stage all of the time. And also, when working through the relationships, working through the characters, we decided that Wolfman is kind of always there. So we needed to give him some space. So the original concept was to have half of the stage be Ted's mind and half of the stage be the therapy office. So that kind of influenced the lighting, the set designs. The actor blocks are out of sheer necessity, man. They don't give us anything. Literally, right before this, I gave sticky notes to just like pretty much everybody in Project Spotlight, and I was like, guys, write mean things on this. So the set decoration literally just came from like spur of the moment idea. Somebody in rehearsal was just like, what if there's just paper all over the fucking floor? And we were like, yes! And so we just kind of ran with it. And the more choices we made about who Wolfman was, how Wolfman spent his time, the more it just kind of further reinforced that this was his playground, this was his home, he'd just kind of been there forever. Remy, did you want to say something as well?
So why the acting blocks, why the chair, and why the other stuff? I thought it was cool. I looked at what we had in the rehearsal room and I said, we can use acting blocks and it looks like building blocks and this is Ted's mind, and so it makes sense. And then paper all over the floor because like, he's got like clutter in his head.
Okay. Thank you, Gian, for letting me know. I really like that you were hidden on stage the entire time. When I walked in, I was like, what's that about? Because you're always there, Wolfman is always there. I'm like, oh, that's very meaningful. Even before the play starts, there he is.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a lot. I literally have to like. Dunstan was literally like, "Hey, so we're probably gonna have you like wait out there for like 30 minutes, even before everyone comes in." I was like, "Oh boy, I mean, all right, yeah." And so I could just, draw papers on the side, dance to the music that was going on, and yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
Walking like I have somewhere to go. Okay, so final question for A Guide Through Hell. Oh. Right here. We haven't heard from this corner yet.
All right, so my question is, when do we see part 2?
Someday. I don't Eventually. When Fabio writes part 2. Oh.
Gian, you want to do part 2?
Like co-write it?
No, am I allowed to do part 2? Not next semester.
Well, this is a question for me now, but if it's a play that can stand by itself but still be a continuation, I'd say that's valid. Okay. That was kind of like a question for me, so I'll take one more question. Jenny?
Thank God. I want to hear Avery. I wanted to hear more about like, as the director of this. Yeah. So I wanted to hear like your influence on the collaboration with the playwright and dramaturg and like in regards to just the relationships and the dynamics of every scene and like all of the scenes and whatnot. I wanted to hear your difference.
Yeah, sure. So something that's very important to me is collaboration. From our first meeting, I told everyone that I wanted to hear their voice because ultimately it's not my show, it is their show. And I just kind of held their hand a little bit as we worked through it. I invited Fabio and Sabrina, my playwright and dramaturg, to every single rehearsal. If they were able to make it, I wanted them in the room to hear their thoughts, make sure I was taking Fabio's words in the right direction, making sure that we weren't taking anything like totally far left. One of our rehearsals, it's probably my favorite rehearsal, we all just kind of sat on the floor and I was like, okay, tell me about your character. who are they to you? Why are you similar to them? And why are you different? And if you are different from them, how can you take those differences and implement them into your life to make you connect with your character more, to make it more believable? And honestly, I can't speak for them, but I can speak for myself. Watching the next rehearsal, there was a complete 180 shift in the space, and everyone felt so much more tapped into the words, into their characters, and there was no more block. We all felt so safe with each other, where we could just create art. And we didn't really touch those heavy emotional scenes until a month in. So I was like, hey, we kind of don't know each other. I don't want to make you cry in front of me yet. But even then, when we got there, it was just a safe space to just kind of create. And if it didn't work, that's okay, because we have all these days to keep going. And so just getting the opportunity to listen to their ideas and collaborate those with mine to just bring this little hellscape onto the stage for you guys was just overall all of their voices mixed with mine. But yeah.
Thank you so much for your questions. If you had any more, I'm sorry. Please talk to them after they go. But thank you so much. That concludes our talk back for this evening for Act Naturally, as well as Like I Do Hell. Thank you so much for coming to our One Act Festival Fall 2022. Project Spotlight is still, up and running. We are doing things. Our actor and script and director applications are opening up in December at a date that will be announced on our website as well as our Instagram. We right now have auditions for our Celebrate show open right now, which is Race and Infinity. That will be Dr. Phillips Center in the spring. So there's tons of cool stuff happening and around the corner. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Have a wonderful evening.